When I was a kid, it was great. It was either play football or play football or play football. There was nothing else. We didn't have golf courses, you see, when I was a kid. And the kids played football at school. The kids played football after school. At weekends, you watched the football on Sunday afternoon, and then you went out and played football again. And then when you got a bit older, you went to watch football. And that was it, really. I mean, we never done anything else.
About half a dozen of us all sort of lived in Manor Grove, down Old Kent Road, Ilderton Road, opposite Millwall football ground. And we all sort of went to the same schools, lived in the same area, knocked about together, played football together, then went over to Millwall. And then in the end, we sort of all bonded together and formed a football team. Right, well, this is the Barnaby, down Ilderton Road, opposite Millwall football ground, or the old ground, really. The new den's just up the road, but this is where we sort of, where we used to meet to go over Millwall, and where we all used to plan our Sunday morning games. Saturday night in the middle of a drunken stoop about, weren't it, really?
Early Sunday morning, I reckon.
But this is where we all used to meet, and as you see, this estate is where half the team grew up.
Yeah, most of the players live around here. I personally lived over behind the gasworks, and...
You lived in the gasworks,
I lived in the gasworks, yeah.
But half of them have moved away, but there's still a few of us who live round here, yourself included.
A mad goalkeepers lived down here,
Yeah,
Terry, didn't they?
We used to drink in the Barnaby as well. Millwall's not a big club, so everyone knows each other. You see faces down there, you recognise them week in and week out. You know, when I went down there, I was 13 years old. But, like, I mean, I speak to people now that I know that I haven't seen for 5 years, like, since I've been down there when I was a kid. And they still, like, say, like, I remember you were a little kid down there.
You got Eddie lives over there, lead your own round the corner.
It's about time you painted that door, though, isn't it?
It's the old scumbag's house.
At the older people, we used to go down the pub. And us youngsters, when we was about 12, 13, used to just go round the pen, have a kick about round there for a couple of hours.
Look at that, this
How
is the tunnel,
wasn't it? How long's that been AstroTurf then?
Oh, a couple of years now, I think.
You just give it loads of, like...
Not the same, is it, now?
It's better, isn't it?
It is better.
But I didn't want to be a freight forwarder. I didn't have no dreams about being a freight forwarder. Yeah, I think, you know, when you're a boy, you want to play football and you see it on TV and you think, yeah, I want to be a footballer, and it don't work like that, you know.
Well, we used to have a goalie there. Peter Ray's would bring the ball right the way up and blast it at your legs on a cold afternoon. I remember that.
Well, you always dream of being a footballer, I think. And like, but obviously, never come up, did it?
Dan is the one. He'll go a bit scatty from time to time and you have to calm him down a little bit. Now he's growing out of it, now he's a father and got a couple of kids, he's calmed down a little bit, but not too much. He still goes AY now and then.
You know, I was just a Millwall fanatic, you know, end of really. And you just go and follow him around the country. On a Saturday morning, that was everything. And women come in your life. Then you meet your wife, don't you, and have a few kids, and that soon gets kicked into touch. Come weekends, I'm supposed to be doing the decorating, things like that, maybe cutting the grass, playing football, and actually going to Millwall on a Saturday takes up all my time. This is my son's bedroom, which I'm decorating at the moment. I plan to put Millwall's leaping lion up on this wall here. What I've done, I've actually put it on acetate. I've got an overhead projector. So that'll go there with Millwall written down this side. Off round to the bookies now, put my bet on, hopefully win some money. Supposed to do the dogs this morning, but I ain't got any money anyway, so. Been going Millwall now for about 14 years. Used to mean a lot. Used to save up all my pocket money, go up north. There's always a little bit of competition, how many grounds you've been, and you must have done about 50, 55, I suppose.
Do what?
Pay for what? When you used to go away, you used to stick together, you know, about 50, 60 of you, and everyone used to seem to know each other because people ain't come from Bermondsey and Peckham, and now like Welling, places like that, then they didn't come from anywhere.
Tattoo Tom, they call him, yeah. He was about 14, I think, when he had them done. And it was sort of the in thing to have done. He had all these writing on his arm. I think now he's grown up, he realises how daft it is.
I'm not ashamed of anything I've done, as far as Millwall's concerned. It's just that they tend to have a bad reputation, and a lot of the time all for the wrong reasons. You could go there with your flask of tea and your sandwiches and everything, but you're tarnished as a Millwall supporter and a fag, and that's well out of order. I was going to come earlier as well, but I thought you were didn't. You wanted to get inside, didn't you? You know why you never come round there? Healing music therapy. It was about 7 for me every time. No, it was about 7 o'clock. Now it's getting a little bit older.
The time I was going to football matches, it was, I'd say football hooliganism was in its height and glory. There was trouble at games and things, you know, but yeah, it just happened. It was part of going to the game. A lot of people seem to be scared of Millwall supporters, and you sort of used to get a little bit of respect, which just wasn't really very nice, you know. People would sort of drag their kids out of the way if you were bowling down the road going to a game.
I just always had football in mind. It's hard, you know, there's so many kids want to do the same thing. A lot of it's luck as well, to be honest. Be in the right place at the right time, have a good game on the right day, if someone's watching, you know. I was young, I was very young. It was just by chance, really. Just someone I knew was down there, and someone went sick, I think, night before, in the position I played in, and I just happened to go down there. And it went from there, just by chance it was. And I was there for a good 7, 8 years, something like that. I don't really know who took these, to be honest. Just a few shots of, that's in the youth team, Arsenal youth team. Just at the training ground. This is an actual game, this one. Just, that's against Spurs, well, that was our main rivals then, and still are, sort of thing. Cleaning the boots, apprentice's job. Just, yeah, we all had a certain amount of duties to do every day, you know.
He always, even when we was like 14 and 15, he wouldn't like go out and drink or things like that, because he was a lot more into his football at that time. You know, he wanted to get somewhere with football.
And back quite safely there by Donnelly. Donnelly on Arsenal's books.
Yeah, this is me when I was about 15. 1985, I think it was. Playing with schoolboys at Wembley. Just a great day, really. Probably one of the best days of my life, to be honest. I ain't watched it for a long time, is it, Alice? See why now.
My dad was always on me, you know, to like try and do well, and you know, as I got a bit older, say 15, 16, not to go out, and you know, my dad was always on my case, you know. When I played with the schoolboys, I think they really, you know, that was a top thing for them, you know.
This is where we played South East Counties games every Saturday morning, you know, against, well, anyone really. Spurs, Millwall, Charlton, all of them really. Had some good games here. It was a lovely pitch. Probably one of the best pitches you'll play on, I think. Once you get to a certain level, the enjoyment does start to go a little bit. There's a lot of pressure on you. And it is more than just a game. You're sort of up against your friends and whatever. It's a competition. You've got to, you know, it is dog eat dog sort of thing. When you turn 18, you're on a YTS sort of scheme. That runs out and it's down to them whether you turn professional or not. More or less one by one, you go in the manager's office and he more or less says, well, yeah, we're going to keep you for a year or we're not, like, you know. But yeah, I remember that day very well. You've got no idea if it's, what way it's going to go, whether it's going to be yes or no. You've got no idea. I'll be honest, I half expected to stay on, get taken on for another year. And then he said, like, we won't keep you on. There's so many people that are expecting you to do this, that and the other. Just having to go home and face them and tell them that I'd been released, like, you know, which was the most difficult bit. There is more to life than football, you know, but it's definitely, yeah, I definitely should have kept at it, but it just wasn't to be, you know, it wasn't to be.